Dustin Poirier, former interim lightweight champion, has publicly signaled that his next matchup will be his last before hanging up his gloves. Sources indicate he's targeting one final hometown card in Lafayette, Louisiana, before retiring from MMA.
I will fight again. It's just how this thing unfolds we'll see when I do retire. Could be uno mas, could be dos mas. I had a good meeting at the UFC headquarters. I was out there with Celsius at a trade show, and I had a good meeting. So I could come back, and then so my goal is to get a fight, get an event here in Louisiana, whether that's Lafayette, Louisiana, New Orleans. I want to lay the gloves down where I started fighting. That's my goal. Just opponent availability, what makes sense.
There's this rumor of this big card in July that's coming. I don't know if you can shed any light on that, or there's also a rumored location that I don't want to drop on here, but
I'll drop it. Okay. I'll drop it this summer, July or August probably, and we're working on UFC New Orleans. I'm trying to retire in my home state. The UFC hasn't been there since maybe 2015.
That was the Hendo Tim Bosch fight, I think, right?
Yeah, I fought on the card as well. I fought Yancy Medeiros, but that was the last time I got to fight at home. So to retire where it all started in Louisiana would be incredible for me in my career.
I would assume main event if that's going to be your retirement fight?
Yes, sir.
Is there any names you can give away, or just not quite yet?
Not quite yet. Still working on a couple things.
And these guys, behind the scenes, people don't understand this. These shows are booked a year in advance. You know, like I think a few months ago we were speaking about it, and he was already booked his pay-per-views all the way through August or something like that. So it's hard to just throw things together last second. It takes a lot of planning with these. There's a lot of moving parts with these big UFC events. But my goal is to take my gloves off in Louisiana.
Despite speculation about his future, Poirier has no intention of walking away quietly when his fighting days are over. He's determined to remain active and involved in the sport in one way or another, refusing the idea of simply retiring and vanishing from the scene.
Nah, man, bro, I love fighting, and I'm still such a huge fan of the sport, not just for the UFC, but mixed martial arts in general, the sport. I watch every show that I can watch every weekend, so I want to stay connected to the sport. I'm not going to just lay the gloves down and smoke bomb disappear. I want to be around. I love this. It's given me the life I have, and I'm excited to see like the next generation start to take over.
In line with his commitment to staying engaged in the sport, Dustin steadily finds his rhythm in front of the camera as an analyst, reflecting on how far he's come since his early appearances at the desk.
I think I might have done it.
Was this the fourth?
3 or 4th, yeah. I'm getting more comfortable. Like anything, it's the reps, going with the flow, kind of feeling comfortable with the people behind the cameras, and I like it, man. I hope they keep bringing me back.
Yeah. Do you think like that's something you're gonna want to focus on post-career?
Yeah, I'd love to. You know, stay connected to the sport once I lay the gloves down. If they want me back, I'm there every time they ask.
I enjoy it. You know, I get like butterflies, and you know, live TV is a whole different thing. We can film and edit stuff and mess up, and it can come out perfect. Live TV, when they're talking in your ear and you have to piggyback off the next person next to you, you can't be lost for words. You have to be on point. That stuff excites me.
However, despite the growing popularity of fighter-run podcasts, Poirier is embracing the analyst's desk. He's less enthusiastic about the podcast wave taking over MMA. Poirier explained that the idea of sitting in front of a camera regularly just doesn't appeal to him. With other commitments already filling his plate, the former interim champ made it clear he's not looking to add another high-profile project to the mix.
I had a couple offers to start a podcast. It just seems like too much work, you know? Yeah, it just seems like a lot of every week filming for so long, talking about what's going on. I could definitely do it, and I have a lot to say about everything that's going on. I just don't want to be sitting in front of a camera and working with the editing crew and doing all that. I got a lot of other stuff I'm juggling. I'd love to be working in some way with ESPN or some kind of fight media, because I would love to be around the sport. You know, I love this sport. I would love to be around it and still be in people's eyes talking about what's going on. And but I have a few businesses here in Louisiana. I'm going to be busy with business stuff for sure.
Dustin Poirier has praised Paddy Pimblett for aiming high with his recent call-outs, acknowledging the young lightweight's efforts to challenge opponents ranked above him. In the midst of that, Poirier also revealed that his retirement fight is already set. While he didn't drop any names just yet, he confirmed that details will be shared soon.
Hey, that's what you do. You call out people above you and try to get those fights. But I have my retirement fight set, and I'll be able to speak about it soon.
Building on their mutual respect, Paddy Pimblett recently revealed a respectful interaction with veteran lightweight Dustin Poirier, stating that both fighters exchanged mutual admiration. According to Pimblett, Poirier expressed nothing but respect during their conversation.
Dustin just said, like, respect and that great performance, and I said the same to him. Shook his hand and said, lad, nothing but respect for you, you're a legend.
Thank you, you're the best.
You're the best, brother. Thank you, man. You're great.
Reflecting on Poirier's potential future, Paddy stated how a fighter who's still looking sharp inside the cage shouldn't feel the need to call it quits. He suggested that Poirier could easily continue competing at a high level and doesn't see the urgency for retirement just yet.
If he does, I think he should have more than one fight. He looked good in his last fight, you know what I mean? I don't understand why you'd retire when you look good, but, you know, he must be an idiot. But yeah, I think I beat Dustin Poirier, so I'd love to fight him.
According to Pimblett, Poirier is being strategic with his final move, pointing out that Poirier is likely aiming for someone with more star power or a higher profile name to cash in on a big pay-per-view opportunity.
Then Nate said I'd beat him and I said so, and then he started chatting legends only, which, to be honest, I understand that. You know what I mean? If he's having one more fight, he's not going to want to fight me. He's going to fight someone he thinks he can beat and someone who's going to get him some pay-per-view buys. So I understand that. If he retires after this fight, then sound. See you later, Dustin. I'll move up another ranking.
As Poirier reflects on his mindset heading into his final fight, he opens up about the mindset that's kept him sharp throughout his storied career, revealing that his biggest fear isn't losing a fight, it's losing the discipline and drive that have defined his journey. For Poirier, staying in the mix and evolving has been a way of life. He added, "I am scared to not keep that same mindset and work ethic towards being a better fighter every day, and then I try to come back or something. Like, I have never got out of the mix besides having hip surgery when I couldn't walk for 8 weeks. I have been a student of the game forever, for every day of my life." In contrast to Poirier's stance on staying away from new ventures, according to Khabib Nurmagomedov, while veterans like Poirier, Tony Ferguson, and Justin Gaethje have had storied careers, the division is evolving, and it's time for fresh talent to take center stage.
I think Poirier can beat Chance, and I think Poirier have to start fighting. I think if it's Justin Gaethje, Khabib, Dustin Poirier, Tony Ferguson, this is old school, brother. Stop fighting to fight, brother. We have to recognize like real things.
Meanwhile, amid growing speculation about a potential trilogy bout between Justin and Dustin as a retirement send-off, Gaethje has poured cold water on the idea. He dismissed the narrative, saying that neither he nor Poirier is interested in settling the score simply for its sake.
No, I've stated many times that I don't think either one of our families deserve that. We're 1-1. I'm okay with it. If he's okay with it, then no. I don't think that's. I don't think we're. I think we're contenders if we beat other people. If I beat him, I don't think either one of us would be considered a contender.
Who should he fight for his retirement fight?
I don't know. It's a good question. Makhachev.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Congrats, man. Yeah. I'm proud of you. I worked hard for this, man. We both did. That's what we do. No worries. Have a great night, man. Yeah. Congrats, guys. Let's hang out. Yeah, for sure.
While Justin Gaethje has ruled out a third fight with Dustin Poirier, the sentiment hasn't been entirely mutual. Poirier was reportedly open to the idea of facing Gaethje in what could have been his retirement bout, seeing it as a fitting conclusion to their storied rivalry. However, with Gaethje already committed to another fight, Poirier has shifted focus.
Who would you like to fight?
Well, my first pick when we first started talking about a retirement in Louisiana was Justin Gaethje, because we're 1-1. I beat him, he beat me. I would hate to close my career out without finishing this thing off right. But when I brought it to their attention, he already had a fight booked in March, I believe, against Dan Hooker, which is an incredible fight. I'm a big fan of both guys, and that's going to be a war that you cannot miss. But we'll see. We'll see. We got some names we're working on.
Echoing Pimblett's view, MMA journalist Ariel Helwani echoes Paddy Pimblett's sentiments that Poirier doesn't look like a fighter who should be walking away just yet. Helwani pointed out that Poirier still appears sharp, competitive, and far from finished. Poirier himself admitted he's been hearing the same thing from many people in his circle, even his own brother.
Go ahead. Sorry to keep cutting you off. This is another thing with fighting that scares me is like, for the past 18 years, I've been so engaged with it. Like every morning I wake up, I'm thinking about fighting. I'm watching a video. I'm heading down to the gym to do jiu-jitsu with my guys here locally. I'm always trying to be better at my craft. I'm scared to not keep that same mindset and work ethic towards being a better fighter every day, and then I try to come back or something. Like, I've never got out of the mix besides having hip surgery when I couldn't walk for.
Continuing his reflections, Poirier revealed that had he defeated Islam Makhachev at UFC 302, he would have retired on the spot. For Poirier, winning the undisputed title would have been the perfect ending to his storied career.
I was fighting to be the world champion. Like, what else am I fighting for? Just to fight for the thrill, because I am addicted to it, no doubt, but like, for the money, I'm good. Me and my family are good. I don't need the money, but my health is first, and like, what am I fighting for? To be the champion again? Will I ever get that shot even if I go on a streak? I don't know. But it's such a tough mountain to climb that I've climbed so many times. You know, I'm 35, and I see people and hear people say, that's not old, you know, but I have 50 fights. I've been fighting since I was 17 years old.
If this was the last one, and it was an amazing performance by yourself, would you be content with going out on this one?
That's the problem. Tonight, if I would have won that belt, I would be content with everything I've done in the sport. It's just, I didn't get the ultimate goal. The reason I started fighting was to be the world champion, undisputed, and I didn't get it, you know. I don't know. I don't know. I fought my first cage fight when I was 18. At some time, this is going to catch up to me. Obviously, I just fought the pound-for-pound #1 guy, and every time I got off the stool, I felt like I was going to win this fight. You know, I remember thinking, getting off the stool, I'm going to be the world champion tonight. I felt it. So I just got to see. I can still compete, but I don't want the sport to retire me and squeeze me out. You know, I don't want to be one of those guys hanging on. I just honor and respect this too much, and we'll see. I don't know. This could be my last fight.
Building on Poirier's potential retirement, Israel Adesanya was impressed by Dustin's performance in his last fight at UFC 302 and was deeply moved by the words he shared afterward. Adesanya stated that had Poirier chosen to retire then and there, it would have been a powerful and respectable way to step away from the sport.
What a way to go out, though. Like, I mean, he took him to the end, 5th round. Won some rounds, so if he's gonna retire after this, what a way to go out. Yeah, bro. Ah!
Continuing his admiration, Israel Adesanya took to X, reminding fans that Poirier's interim belt still counts as a title win, also gave Dustin a tribute. Whenever I said UFC 243 was my first title defense, some get salty. I consider my interim title win a title win. Any fight after that is considered a title defense and a unification. Two things can be true at the same time. Dustin Poirier and I won our belts on the same night. Undisputed or not, he was the champion. Y'all can't take that away from him. Head high, my guy. Let's strive. Dustin the Diamond Poirier's legacy will sparkle long after he hangs up his gloves. Whether standing across the octagon or behind the analyst's desk, his passion for the fight game will continue to inspire. If you're as excited as we are to see Dustin's final chapter, consider giving us a like, share with a Dustin fan. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for all the latest fight news updates.